Welcome back, survivors. I'm the SurvivalVis, and we return to Carnivores Genesis. We're going to go in and do some brand new hunting. Now, I'm going to give a little hint to something coming next week. It's going to be a little bit different than what you guys are used to. It is going to be on Monday, but if you are a Carnivores fan, I would highly recommend you try to stop by next week and just kind of see what's going to go on. That's as much as I'm going to give, and now into what we're going to do today. Now, we've basically been doing a lot of the first dinosaurs for quite a while now, but we could go after the Utahraptor. So I want to try to get into something new with Genesis. We're going to go after that, and we do have a few points to work with. Actually, we could even do Bazinda Desert. Ooh, no. We could do Bazinda Desert with the Utahraptor. Now, a friend of mine and I got to talk a little bit about, like, the carnivore series I've been doing on the channel, because they are a viewer. And they were talking about the top carnivores mods, or what I thought were the top carnivores mods, and some of the big names kind of came to mind, like Mandibles, Triassic, Carnivores Plus, Far North, some of those. And then they asked, what about Carnivores Genesis? And it almost, like, took a moment, and why didn't I think of Carnivores Genesis? Like, when I look at all the things, the maps so far have all been really good and great, and there's not an issue there for why that wouldn't have stuck in my mind. The weapons, I think I have to give this actually S tier for the best weapon loadout I have ever seen in a Carnivores mod. The reason being is you have so many actual unique weapons that have unique gameplay in a way. You have shotgun for getting up close with the dinosaurs. You have the revolver, well, more close range, but still packing a bit of punch. You have an actual arcing why can I not say these words? Arcing trajectory projectile with the bow. You have a standard and satisfying rifle that feels powerful, and we haven't even gotten into things like crossbow, sniper rifle, double barrel shotgun, and this Rift Laser Expo sounds neat. So all the weapons are fantastic in that. So why was it that Carnivores Genesis wasn't one of the ones that stuck out right in my mind? The only thing I could think of is because of the dinosaurs. Like, when you look at the roster, it overall is really nice. The Parasaur, Ankylo, Stego, Sinraptor, Triceratops, Utah, Dilopho, Carnotaurus, T-Rex, Mantelodon. But the problem, I think, or at least it felt to me, was when you start into Genesis, it doesn't really feel all that different. Like, yeah, there is a Parasaur, and an Ankylosaur, and a Stego, and a Triceratops. But the thing is, that's the same roster we've really had for Carnivores 1, Carnivores 2, Carnivores Plus. Like, it's almost like your standard go-to, so I feel like maybe that was why it didn't stand out as much to me. But one of those cases that really racked the brain is, why didn't it to me? And that's the only thing that comes to mind, is maybe Genesis needs a little bit more of its own footing in a way. Like, it needs something a little more unique at the get-go. Because all the big mods that I've talked about, they all have a unique roster right to the mod from first animal to the last. Now, I think some dinosaurs I do think should stick around, like the T-Rex. I mean, that's a staple. I think Carnivores Genesis is a good thing there. But I feel like the early game here, it almost feels like you're hunting a little too similar to everything else, because, I mean, Jurassic Park Hunter Legends has close to the same roster. Carnivores Plus, again, close to the same roster. Carnivores 2, you sort of feel like you've burnt out a bit if you're a veteran to the series. So that was my take, and I want to know if you guys have felt like that. If Carnivores Genesis, it plays really, really well, but it doesn't seem to almost, like, stick out as much as the others. I want to ask you guys as to why you might feel that way, or if you feel any different. Let's build up a little bit of rapport and see why, because, again, Genesis, it plays so well and nice, but for some reason there's just one gear that's not meshing with the others, and it's kind of hard to figure out which one that is. So I'd like to get your opinion on that and see what you guys think. But overall, you know what? Actually, I might going to try doing something a little different. We're going to set it to dawn. Sorry, first recording session of the day. Voice ain't quite warmed up. And we're going to go after the Utahraptor. So everything looks good, so let's hop in and see how these guys are to hunt. Okay, so we're loaded in with a few Mozchops and Metrodon just kind of stomping around. A couple of galleys. Oh. We got ourselves our first Utahraptor. little guy. Not as fast as I think the Velociraptor, but definitely a way to make a debut, so I gotta hand it to the Utahraptors for meeting us out here first. Oh, it sounds like he has a pretty big pair of lungs on him, doesn't he? Okay, so where are... Ooh, we've actually not really been on the southern end of Bazinda Desert yet. I think we've actually only hunted here once, haven't we? So we'll see about going north right into sort of the middle of the map, because we stuck mostly to the eastern shores and the coves and coasts like that. I know the shotgun... I actually really like the shotgun being only like a single shot first. It kind of makes you feel like it's a little more impactful than just the usual sort of like double taps you almost do, where you just shoot until it goes down. At least with the shotgun, you feel like there's a little break, so you have to be a bit more careful with your aim, and you just feel the skill base and like the learning curve a bit more than anything else for start. Yeah, so we'll kind of go through and see what else we can find or that. I think mostly if we can just get north and probably do some more calls. No. Oh no, that's just a Gallimimus. Yeah, that was something I asked on what do you guys think I should do to improve my hunting skills. The two big ones were to sprint more often and to call more often. The call one I have no problem with, and I'm going to try to kind of keep doing. The only issue with sprinting is probably because of my like background with hunting games. Like, I've played games such as The Long Dark or The Hunter, both classic Call of the Wild, and just kind of get built up that you don't want to run or the animals are going to easily sort of find you. Well, most of the time. Call of the Wild, as our last episode showed, can be pretty buggy and weird at times. Oh, we got a reply, but I don't know exactly what direction it came from. We'll go a little further and then try calling again, although maybe also keep the shotgun at the ready. Or should I go... Maybe we'll go for the pistol. That one, I don't think it has quite... Oh! There's a Utahraptor. And I'd like to try getting one of these guys with the bow, but... Oh god, sorry about the screen flare, didn't mean to leave that there, my apologies. That's the only problem with hunting at dawn, is the... If there's a way to try to get rid of that effect, I think it would be a much better experience, just because that way then you have just the nice, beautiful skybox, and you can look any direction without getting blinded there. Uh-oh. Where'd the Utah just go? Okay, I know it was somewhere ahead. Oh! Oh, yeah, I think he see me. Definitely saw me. There we go. And just a little look around and make sure we're okay. Yeah, we seem to be okay. Looks like he was just the one. The raptors are always the ones I expect to do the clever girls on us, and I think they are the only animal that has not yet. We've had the Jurassic Park Hunter Legend Dilophosaurus do it. We've had the Carnivores Plus Majungatholus do it. I think we even had on... I can't remember if one of the Gojirasauruses from Triassic did that too or not. I think we've had mandibles, a few of them do it too, but the one animal you'd expect to has never seemed to have done it. I think we even maybe... Or... Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't think we really have had a raptor do that yet. Yeah, not hearing anything else. Let's go into, I guess, the kind of lowlands for the area. A lot of cacti, though. Yeah, everything's looking pretty good. No calls back. And again, I know I probably should sprint, but it just kind of is ingrained in me that that's a bad idea because of how all the other games I played have had it so the animals super detect you when you run and move. I mean, Carnivores is one where it actually seems to as well, but I don't know if changing the view range... Oh, my apologies. Changing the view range actually affects how far their sensitivity works as well or not. And then, anything else to talk about? No, Oh, I guess one thing is you can kind of see it behind me is I did pick up a new chair. My old one had, well, it was going on quite a few years and could definitely use replacement, so this is a gaming chair off of Amazon for $220 Canadian. And I gotta admit, I never understood the, like, gaming chair thing. I always would see them and like, okay, but why is it that, and why is it so bloody expensive too? Like, a gaming chair, if I were to walk into my local Staples, oh, just a Gallimimus? Yeah, okay. If I were to walk right into my Staples, the cheapest one would probably be like $320, and looking at it, it's like, what are you really getting for that much money? I don't understand. Oh, hello. You're not a Gallimimus. You're actually a fairly... Yeah, you're actually a fairly well-sized Utahraptor. I guess the other one was kind of a little bit tiny. Okay, nothing else sneaking in for us. That's good. Man, this has actually turned out to be a really good hunt for these guys. I definitely gotta call more often, don't I? Yeah, so I never really understood the gaming chair thing until I got this one, and I've actually been able to sit in it. I mean, haven't even had it for a day, but there are a few things that are nice. One thing is, I actually kind of understand the cushions now. I'm 6'1", and for just a straight back chair, I do find that I sit kind of weird, that there is almost like a little gap in my back there. And that's what that little base cushion that you see on a lot of them is for. It almost feels like it's made more for keeping your back upright and giving you full support across your entire back. Now, I don't think I'd recommend going for like super expensive ones like the 320 because I still don't see what really qualifies to be that much. I would say just look for, hell, do what I did. Go on Amazon, look for one that has some good reviews. Go over the bad reviews as well, get a fully informed opinion on it, and then see about maybe ordering something if you're interested. Okay, there is another one somewhere. It sounds like it is possibly straight ahead. Pistol's starting to run a little low, so we'll have to be ready to swap probably to the shotgun. I took the bow along, but I don't really think we're going to be able to get a good matchup against one of these Utahs to be able to use it that well without risking all the points, because I do want to bring all these back with us. I'm not sure how many points the Utahs are worth. I mean, the modifiers on definitely are going to take a little chunk, well, maybe a fair-sized chunk of that away. Let me try calling again. Okay, no reply on that one, so I'm a little cautious now. I heard the little footsteps, but that was just the Dimetrodon getting scared by the call. So maybe we'll see about going up a little bit more this way and try again. I might even just keep the shotgun out, though. Like, the only issue I have with the pistol is that it can be a little slow getting each weapon out, so right when you're in the midst of it and you use that last shot, you all of a sudden have this big period of, oh no. So we're going to try to avoid that if we can. And maybe we'll see if we can get this last Utah, we'll take the points back and see how we're sitting. Because this is, I think, where Carnivores Genesis is going to start getting more into sort of its own footing and identity, is once we get into the more unique roster solely included in the mod. Oh, okay, there you are. Yeah, so you probably were running around up there. Oh, and a Gallimimus. Yeah, so we'll kind of get in there, see if we can take him on. More than likely, we'll start seeing him coming down the mountain in a little bit here. I mean, they are both basically just running around up... Oh, okay. Is he? No. Okay, I don't know why they're playing tag up there, but seems like the Utah's having a little bit of a tough time coming down. But this will give us a bit of practice. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Who needs practice when you got dumb luck? That was a beautiful shot, especially with how they've been, like, circling back and forth up here. Damn, I love this bow. I have to say, if we could get the Genesis weapon roster on every mod, I think I would be very happy with that for, like, the rest of every game. Like, oh my god, it is so fun to use. And getting to actually, like, see yourself improve using... Yeah, I figure we'll just kind of take you down because all you're doing is looping. But yeah, we'll go back with the points before anything surprises us, but I love the weapon roster. It is the best of any mod I've found so far. Okay, so we're back here in the menu, and we actually did unlock another animal, the Dilophosaurus, although we'll probably want to have to do a few hunts to get a few weapons to really use against them. So maybe what we're going to do is try doing a little bit of farming on Trophy Beachhead. Yeah, we'll do that for the... yeah, we'll squeeze in a little few minutes of hunting. And we'll just do day just to... no solar flares, so... everything looks good, we'll hop in quickly and just do a little bit of farming for next week. Okay, so we're loaded onto the beachhead now, and... we're going to just turn sprint mode on and use the... probably start with the pistol, I think. And basically just try to get a few points grinded up so that way we have a few different weapons we can use to take on Dilophosaurus. The point curve, I think, with Genesis is pretty good. It's just because I have the modifiers on, that's most likely slowing us down quite a bit, because we're either at 30% of our points or 35% of our points after each hunt are basically forfeited because we have the modifiers to help us. Okay, there's you. Oh, and we got ourselves a Utah. There we go. Now we're racking them up. I am learning. You guys can see I'm actually able to take them on a little easier now. So we'll go see if we can find a few others. Maybe even just one or two. Like I say, we just want to try to get a few points kind of grinded up so that way if we want to go after the Dilophosaurus next week, we have a few different weapons we can try taking for it. I know, if I really wanted to grind points up, I think the best weapon would probably actually be the C1 rifle right now. And I really do like it because it is a very satisfying rifle, just like to feel that you have that power in a rifle again. Or, well, I shouldn't say again, but just that you've gone up to that kind of power. Yeah, nothing else really on here. Nobody's running to say hello, so we'll go across the water quick. But I'd really like to hear your guys' feedback on Genesis, and where you think it almost... Ow. Smacked my elbow on the desk. Always fun, but what you guys feel like if there's one mesh that doesn't seem to turn, or it doesn't feel like it stands out enough to kind of be one of your mods you really think of. Like, for me, it really bothered me that it wasn't, because, again, I love all the weapons, the maps have been great. I really do feel like it's just because Genesis doesn't start you off sort of, like, really unique for the animals to hunt. Now, that might be something as... Oh, shoot. Aww. That's what I get for talking and hunting, but we're going to just head back because we're basically at our time limit. Exit error. But that's the thing, like, it plays so well with even just these few weapons we have launched so far, and there's still so much more to try out and enjoy too, but it mostly becomes, I think, that you just start off, again, hunting parasaurs and ankylos and stegos and trikes. Even, I think, if it was, like, a different species, but the same family, so maybe instead of a parasaur, Amebiosaurus, a Montosaurus, a Lorotitan. Instead of Ankylosaurus, a Sauropelta, Nodosaurus, a different Ankylosaur, like different members of their family. Or like instead of Stegosaurus, Kentrosaur, or Chunkingnosaur, like other things, or Dijongosaur, or like just a different member of the family that can use the same general basic, so it does feel like you're hunting a Hadrosaur and then a Ankylosaur and a Stegosaurid. I think the Sinoraptor fits well and stays as it is because it is unique enough to feel like a completely different animal than the Allosaurus. But I think the rest of the roster feels a little too similar to everything we've sort of gone through if you played any of the other carnivores. But let me know your feedback on where you think Genesis might just kind of feel like it's not quite having the impact or the top of the list that you sometimes attribute with like Mandibles or Carnivores Plus or the Jurassic Park ones. That's the only thing that really hit to me because everything else has been so good with it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and thank you guys very much for joining me on this episode of Carnivores Genesis. If you do like the series, be sure to give it that like, and any comments, tips, tricks, or feedback on the series or the mod itself, leave them right down below, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. Please remember, as always, survivors, to take care and stay alive.